Hello all, welcome back. Let's have a look at how the usage of systemctl commands. So systemctl is a central command which you can use to manage services inside systemd. If you want to know the status of a service, you can use systemctl status followed by the process name. For example, I'm going to use firewallD over here. So if you take a look at this one, you can see the service name firewallD.service, the location of the service, whether it's loaded or unloaded, whether it's active or not. You can see the document references. So if you go to man pages, you can see the man documentation for firewallD. You can see the process identifier, you can see the number of tasks, you can see the memory usage. So in order to disable a service which is running currently, you can use sudo. You need to be a super user to do that. Systemctl disable and the service name. So if you do that, it will disable your service in the next reboot. So if you want to disable that right now, you can give --now. So what this will do is it will disable the service right away. So if you check again status of firewallD, you can see the status is inactive over here. So if you want to enable that back, you can use systemctl. Instead of disable, you can use enable. So if you check again the status, you can see it's active. If you want to restart a running process, because running service, it's like if you are experiencing some issues with some service, if you want to restart, you can use systemctl. Instead of status, you can use restart. So it will ask you for your super user password. You need to be a super user in order to do any modifications. So you can use sudo instead and hit your super user password and it will restart the service. If you want to stop a service, you can use stop. So now if you check, you can see the activity status is like inactive. If you want to start a service without enabling it in boot time, you can use start, systemctl start followed by the service name. You can, for restarting a service, either you can use restart or you can use reload. Either one works. So if you use enable or disable, it will stop the process from start or stop the process from running at boot time of your system. So if you don't want some process to run during your boot time, you can use systemctl disable followed by the firewall name. Then you can check whether it's active. For that, you can use is-active. So it will give you like it's active. And whether it's enabled, you can use is enabled. It's going to give you like the output, it's enabled. If you want to know whether a process has failed because of some reason, you can use failed. So it's telling it's active, so no failures have occurred. So if you are having any failures, you can run through your journalctl and find the error. So you will get some idea how to rectify the error. Like you can list all the units. So you can list all the units, list-units. It's going to give you like all available units. You can use spacebar to go down, Q to exit. So if you do that, let me expand my terminal. So it's going to give you like information like it's going to give you information like the unit name, whether it's loaded or not, whether it's active or not, whether the lower level substate is active or not, and the description of the service, you can just type systemctl. So it will give you like this output. So it's going to give you like the whole, instead of just listing the units, it's going to list everything. So if you go spacebar, if you go down, you can see it's having like all these services. Hit Q to exit. If you want to list all services, you can use sudo systemctl list units -- all. If you want to know whether a service is active or inactive, you can use list all units. So you can use the state flag with active or inactive. So it's going to give you all the inactive modules right now. So instead, if you use active, it's going to give you all the active modules. You can use the type flag to know what type, like specify some type. So instead of all, you can use -- type equals service. It's going to give you like all services, systemd unit services, and hit Q to exit. So if you want to view like a unit file, you can use systemctl sudo systemctl cat command with the name of the service. So it's going to give you information about the service. Similarly, you can view the dependencies of a service by using sudo systemctl list - dependencies, then followed by the service name. So it's going to give you like a tree view of all the dependencies available. You can use the spacebar to move down, Q to exit, or up or down arrow keys to navigate. Then you can use show command. So it's going to give you the low level properties of the service, when it's started, like its runtime, all this information. And you can check whether your system is, if your system is having some issue, you can check whether like your system is having some conflicts with something else you have installed. So you can use the pre-flag and you can use conflicts. Then there is like masking or unmasking. So masking is the process of disabling a service from being enabled automatically. So if you are having like, if you disable some service and it's automatically getting enabled at the reboot or the next boot, you can use the mask command. So you can use sudo systemctl followed by mask and the service name. So if you do that, it will create a symlink so that the service will not get started automatically. List units again. So if you go and firewall D, it will be here somewhere. Yeah. So if you look at firewall D service over here, you can see it's masked, so it will not get automatically enabled during the next boot. So you can use unmask to remove that. It's going to remove the symbolic link. There are like run levels inside a Linux system. So the default run level, if you are having like a workstation with a desktop, the default run level will be a graphical target. So in order to view what target you are using, you can use sudo systemctl get -default. If you do that, you're having a graphical target. If you want to change the target, you can use set default and specify the target you want. If you don't want a graphical user interface, like if you just want like a text-based interface, you can do that. So if you want to see all the available targets you have, like you can use sudo systemctl is -unit space -- type equals target. going to give you all the available targets which you can use. If you wanna go to rescue mode, like if you are having some issues, you can set systemctl rescue mode. So you can use sudo systemctl rescue mode. If you do that, your system will go to rescue mode. You can use halt power off, like if you do sudo systemctl power off, it's going to shut down your system. Then you can use reboot to reboot your system. So that's it for today. I hope you all have a wonderful day.